A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Bafana.
All about faith to this is Parker, yeah. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
As overthink is overachiever. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Joseph Mokwena. I am your host, and this here show is a show where we speak about local football, African football, and every now and again we go over to Europe. It's a place where you and I can speak about what is happening in South African football, in African football, in European football at the current moment. But on days like this, Monday review shows, the show is about what we've seen over the weekend. And luckily for you guys, Kaizer Chiefs didn't play this weekend, but we did get to see Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns make it into the CAF Champions League, as well as Stellenbosch making it into the CAF Confed Cup. If it's your first time watching the show, welcome. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. And then if Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana, UWC are playing, I will be here covering whatever the football is. We'll do our watch-alongs and we'll review. The show is very interactive, guys, very interactive. I want to hear from you guys more than you'll hear from me. So you do that by joining on TikTok, following me on TikTok, clicking on the multi-guest button at the bottom of your screen. Then you'll be able to jump in and add your voice to the show live. And have your say, because this is what the show is about. Plenty of times when you're watching South African football stuff, it's mainly a former player and a former coach and an analyst and a what. Very rarely do we really have shows where it's 2 hours of us speaking. The panels, I'm going to be a little bit strict today. I hope you guys have realized what I've added to the show. A little bit strict today so that we can get as many people in and we can have the tough conversations that we love having. So, without any further ado, guys, the teams that make up this year's CAF Champions League tournament is Ahly, Al Hilal, AS FAR Club, former club of Coach Nabi, AS Maniema Union, CR Belouizdad, Joliba AC de Bamako, AS Tunis, GD Sagrada Esperanza, Mamelodi Sundowns, MC Alger, Orlando Pirates, Pyramids FC, Raja Casablanca, Stade de Abidjan, TP Mazembe, and Young Africans. For those who are listening very closely there, 2 South African teams will be competing in this tournament. So we're going to start off with Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns played their second leg of their preliminary qualifiers. They played versus Mbabane Swallows, who they beat 4-0 again, on top of the 4-0 that they gave them earlier on last week. Korisang Komavela Korisang scored, Khoza from DDC scored, Lodge scored, and the eternal youngster Mamelodi Sundowns, Mkhulisi, 28-year-old teenager, scored for Mamelodi Sundowns to make it 4-0. We're going to start there. And that is what we're going to speak about at the beginning. So please feel free to request by pressing that button at the bottom of the screen. As you can see, guys, there is a time limit because I'm trying to get as many people in. So it is visual. I'll start it when we start up speaking, and I'm going to try to get as many people in as we can over the next 2 hours. Agent, how are you, my brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hi, man. I'm okay, man. I'm okay. We were resting, some of us, this weekend. I don't know about you guys. But, Agent, tell me, how do you feel about your guys' game?
Yeah, I can see you have innovations and denovations and what innovations there. I see you.
Always pushing, man.
No, it's fine. You guys were playing with snow like other kids. It's fine. You're welcome, Shame. That's life problems. Let me first start by repeating what David Kuza just said. Hey, the excitement from this other fan base, group stage J. And when you go to semi-finals and quarterfinals, somehow, but anyway, you're not there. But I think it's nice to have two South African teams playing in the group stages. It's only too sad that the draw is not seeded. So it's possible that we might have the two South African teams in one group, but I would have loved it to be seeded that we can't have the same team from the same countries in the group stages like they do in Europe, And I think maybe it's a high time also we increase the number of teams, like the old version of UEFA, And yes, obviously we'll have your Orlando Pirates going through preliminaries and stuff, but I still feel like, South Africa deserves 3 teams or even 4 teams. It would be nice to have a top 4 kind of thing in our disposal, So there is that. But otherwise, there's nothing to analyze about this game. If anything, there's more questions than answers. What happens next tomorrow? Because we give players a chance and they delivered. So what do you do tomorrow? That's it.
Okay. I'm gonna come back with the questions. Let me go to Kumo. Kumo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm welcoming yourself. How are you guys doing?
Hi, man. I'm well rested as a Naturena fan, but it's fine. Kumo, how did you feel about?
Ghana, you guys keep on resting forever. When are you guys gonna start playing?
Well, we're gonna be back. Don't worry, we're back. Is it tomorrow or Wednesday? Kumo, how did you feel about your game versus Mbabane Swallows? 4-0, 8-0 on aggregate.
Yeah, Gori agent will say anything to include Chiefs. 4 sports, CAF. Yeah, he loves his team. Anyway, I'm happy. I'm happy with the results. I liked how professional we were, considering we were playing with our French players, aka B team. Like how good was Mundiela, there was Mukulise, Lodge I thought had an exceptional game as well. That kid, man, khoza to score on his debut. There were so many positives. Now, my issue is that Mangoba is a listener and he learns from mistakes. Unlike someone, we won't mention his name, Mangoba, what he would say, believes in rotation. And as you can see, rotation here is based on merit. But then again, I don't want to say it's based on merit because of, let's be fair, this was a dead rubber game. So maybe he saw it fit that these French players should get some game time. But what happens, because I want as much as Boba, if the Rook also had an exceptional game, like will he replace Coutier in that role? What happens when Kekana comes? Will that khoza boy play? Lizuko was exceptional, but can we trust him? Because the big games, will he bench Mudau or even a Morena? So I don't know. Like, it's a nice headache to have, but overall I was impressed with everything. Even with Shaluli, I mean, that boy, man, he had 3 shots on target, even though they lacked venom. But it's an improvement. Like, we have to look for positives in his game. But yeah, Lena, we have to be honest there and say maybe he's starting to become the next Mutupa. What a sad end to his career. But hopefully we pray and hope he doesn't end up that way. But yeah, man, 8-0 on aggregate without conceding, especially coming from not scoring in 3 games. Yeah, now we more than make up for it.
Okay. Let me go to Gustavo. Gustavo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Sure. Otsivere.
Mangimnandi Gustavo. Gustavo, 8-0 on aggregate. How did you feel about Swallows versus Mbabane Swallows versus Sundowns?
I think I ngisho something like ukhuma njengoba to agent we likes involving Chiefs. Even if they increase the teams to 4 teams, Chiefs still won't qualify. So
Put the guns away, man.
But yeah, it is what it is, man. Preliminary, we qualify as usual. Nothing to celebrate there. Unlike other teams, we have to celebrate. A win against the giant, tshwane, But yeah, man, great game. Like Kumo said, the rotation, man. We like the rotation. But it's just Mbabane Swallows, man. The game was already won, so it's just to introduce some players to see how they do. You know, Khoza got his debut, got his goal. And you saw Saavedra after I don't know how long. I never even thought he would be playing for Sundowns anymore, you know. Which was good to see the boy back, man. Hopefully no injuries for him this season. He can maybe get some game time, you know. And just finish off his 6 months. Yeah, 6 months left of his contract or something. 6 months or a year. Or whatever. You know? There's that, man. There isn't much to say about that game. That second game, actually the second leg. But yeah, the 8-0 score, the goals appreciated. We need to be high scoring, you know. We need to high score. You know, now we just have to wait for the draw. Then Simnan.
Okay, Gustavo. Let me go to Tyler. Tyler, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, OT, I'm great, my guy. How's it?
Hi, man. I'm okay. Tyler, Fonny, how do you feel about the game? How do you feel about the two legs?
I think OT, we need to first check the team they were playing against. It was expected for them to win. You know, anything now less than a win for Mangoba. You know, if he doesn't perform, for me, you know, compared to what Rulani has done in the last season, you know, everyone is on his case. Even the management, by the way, they haven't actually announced him as a head coach. You know, that says volume. You know, about him. So I'm looking at the style of play. First of all, I like the structure at the back. I like the guy Khoza and Deruk. They both come positioning on the ball. That's what I was impressed by in that game. I mean, 8-0 is expected. You know, 8 on our grade is expected. Rulani has done fantastic, more than that. You know, the style of play is yet to be tested when OT. You're still going to play Wydad, you're still going to play TP Mazembe, you're still going to play Esperance, Ahly, Petro, Zamalek, Simba, Young Africans. And I'm looking at the style of play. Yes, it's a bit, it's changed a bit, but they're losing a lot of balls. They are losing a lot of balls. And those teams, remember Sundowns is one of the top 3 in Africa. And before, you know, I don't want to compare him and Rulani. A lot of coaches didn't want to play against Sundowns because of the style of play. They were in control, the way they score their goals. You know, and now when you look at this style of play, and if you're going to play against these teams, right, they are used to that box, putting the ball in the box. And as a result of that, hence he always say, yeah, we've improved, their box entry has improved. But if you look at the conversion, you know, rate, as much as you're penetrating the box, the conversion rate is not that high compared to the types of football or the crosses you put on the box. Because when you put crosses, it's 50-50. And those teams are so used to that type of football as compared to what Rulani used to do. I think he introduced it way too quickly for me. And a lot of teams are licking their fingers right now to play against them.
Okay. I'm gonna come back because there's something I want to ask. For time's sake, agent, I've got 2 questions for you. Is rotation now a thing at Sundowns? Do you think that it's going to be something that Mangoba is going to be taking forward and actually rotating like he is now? Or is it just maybe a message for now until the starters or allegedly get back online? And then number 2, what's the mandate for CAF? Is the mandate still to win? Does Mangoba get fired if he gets to a final? How does that look?
Because I don't have time, let me not do it. Because I don't have time, let me not do it. And he said I should stop taking what. But we have enough penetration, you know. Conversion is a different thing. And Kujulani, we're focusing on one chance. And if that chance doesn't come, we are stuck. Here we have. I would rather worry about not scoring than not creating chances. But anyways, I move away from that. To your question, I think well, the mandate still stays the same. CAF or nothing. We're at that stage, and like I said, I'm ready to sell my soul to win CAF. This tiki taka, what, and I'm ready to sell my soul, Sham, to win CAF. If you know, you know. And what was the first question? Oh yeah,
The rotation.
Yeah, I think it's tricky, and I think he's creating himself a headache. Whether it's a nice headache or not, I don't know, Sham. But at some point, you'll need a consistent lineup to build chemistry. You can't be rotating from game to game. You must have a basis. And maybe when the big guns have maybe their wives and their kids and that everybody have stopped crying and they're over it, they can maybe get in line and can get a story lineup, and it would be very interesting if you don't play this week. What does Coach Hugo Bruce do now? What does Coach Hugo Bruce do? Because we have international break then. And what if he doesn't call them? And what if he calls them and they don't perform? What next? But anyways, it's not. Whenever the English is gone, Kumo will complete the sentence. It's neither here or there. Yeah, the English is back. Thank you.
Let me go to Kuma. Kuma, same two questions. Is rotation back at Sundowns, is it a good thing? Or is this just Manlatwaris until the main players come back? And then number two, what's the mandate for Mangoba in CAF? Is it your die, or does he get an out if he gets to the semis, if he gets to the finals?
Okay. You know what? There's so many great benefits to rotation. With such a big squad for Sundowns, we are lucky to have quality players who can literally compete on every front level. But it's challenging because with auto rotation, if you keep playing the same players, a lot of people become fatigued, and the same players will naturally go on to play for Bafana, right? And also traveling, there's jet lag, there's injury concerns. So injury has to be a vital role. But having said that, most big teams, they've got like their 8 core players. You see the same lineup at Liverpool, at Real Madrid, because there are benefits to that at all. But one thing that I've learned about Africa and Europe, or with other global countries as a whole, you can't really compare. We can't apply the same tactics or challenges and solutions to Africa because we are very unique, right? Ideally, if we say the team that was playing against the second leg against the team from Swaziland should play in the cup games. And if we say your Tembazwane should play in CAF, and if you say our third string should play, I don't know, in the PSL, it also sets a tone that, you know what, we are weak, so we're going to play these mediocre games. We are the best ones that are going to be playing CAF. Similar to rugby, like, you get the Stormers, they play Super Rugby. Then you get the Western Province, they play the Kerry Cup. It's how it's supposed to be, but you can't say that because, players are super sensitive, and it also, we are human, so it's a mess. But luckily for us, we just come here on your show and say whatever nonsense every day, You don't have to be Mango. That's why he gets paid the big bucks, That is headache for him. So when it comes to care, we're not going to be happy with your MTN aid that was held by Abongile Tom. We are Mamelodi Sundowns. As much as you guys don't want to admit that we are fighting with your Al Ahlis, yes, we know we don't have the history like Al Ahly does, but in terms of like mentality and ambition, we are definitely up there with your Al Ahlis. So if Mangoba doesn't win, it depends if he goes to the final, because there would be an improvement because we lost the semi-finals, right? So if he goes to the final, we can give him some, first season in charge, at least we got us there, which we haven't been in a long while. Or what? But like I said, CAF, nothing on else. Lenna, I've already sold my soul 2016, so I have no souls to give. So we're gonna use Agents 1 to win this one. Thank you, man.
let me go to Gustavo, guys. Remember, there is a timer here, but let me go to Gustavo. Gustavo, is this real rotation, or is it just a message for the starters? The moment the starters get on board, they come back into the team, number one. And then number two, what's the mandate for Manqoba at CAF? Is it do or die, win or bust?
I would say, hey, a rotation at a certain point, you can say, but you look at the opponents that you've been playing, you know, you are like, is it really that much to judge? You know, certain players that they'll be performing at a high level. You know, it's good for them to get those minutes. You know, it's good for them to sort of like get the chemistry and the cheat of the playing with the others, you know. But it's not really something that should scare the first team players. There are places, you know, in that starting 11, it's sort of compromised, you know. You look at a player like Shalulile, he hasn't been able to deliver in both games. You know, you look at that, then you're like, okay, Reynas has been performing, 2 starts, two goals. You know, as an assist, I think. You look at that, you look at those factors. It's okay.
Yeah.
Shalulile's place is sort of gonna be taken now by Reynas. You know, as much as they've been playing them alongside each other, but you look at that position, you know. But I wouldn't say this is a real rotation, man. We will see real rotation as time goes by. You know, as time goes by. And you don't just change. This is not just rotation. This is almost a change of the whole squad. You know, this is almost a change of the whole squad. So with the rotation, you need proper to change, to make tweaks here and there, 1 to 2, 3 players, you know, so that you don't lose the chemistry of the team, of how the team plays. Because once you change everything all at once, you lose the chemistry of how certain players play. You know, I like what Kumo said. It would be nice maybe having different squads for different competitions, you know, but also it comes with game time. Do other players get game time? You cannot wait for a competition like it's a Black Label. I don't know whenever it's starting. You cannot say, okay, there's a squad for Black Label. When will they get the time to get those match minutes?
Yeah.
You know? And your second question?
What's the mandate?
Care for nothing, Baba. Care for nothing. Second star. You know, creating history. Want to create history. It's care for nothing. You know, or final or nothing. But we're not going there to a CAF final to not win it. Yeah, we're not there. If we go there, we have to win it, you know. We've been losing enough finals locally. We need to win that one and make a statement. You know, it's careful nothing for Coach Manqoba. If it doesn't win the CAF, hey, we'll see what happens. Because, yeah, the market pool for coaches, it's sort of not there.
Yeah.
Especially for Sundowns.
We've got a bit of time, so let me ask Agent very quickly, guys. I'm going to ask you just to keep it to a minute. Agent, there's rumors of Benny McCarthy. There's rumors that Fleming Berg has flown to Europe and is interviewing Benny McCarthy to possibly become coach. How do you feel about that?
In simple business thing, it's called contingencies. You know, every good run businesses has those, you know, so I don't think much of it, you know, but then Chiefs fans won't understand it because, you know, but yeah, so it's just a contingency. And even if we bring coach Benny in, he needs to know that he'll be working under Coach Manqoba, you know, and we've had that, you know, with Coach Rulani, Coach Manqoba, Coach Steve. It don't mean anything new, you know. The only thing that I know is Benny is not, what is the English term? Has an ego that won't allow him to be under anyone. He would say a coach Manchester United. So that's the only thing that I see as a hindrance. Otherwise, it's just a contingency, nothing more. Yeah, thanks.
We have contingencies. It's called Dylan Shepard. It's called Atlas One. Let me go to Kumo. Kumo, the Benny rumors, where do you stand on that?
Oh, of course, it makes sense why he would come in. I mean, like Benny McCarthy is a striker coach, and like our main guy is struggling to score goals. Hence why they went and got Benny McCarthy. I want to give him. I agree, he was there at Manchester in the same role, and he's not like he's unemployed. So guys, let's think outside the box. That doesn't mean it's gonna go with Sundowns as the head coach. Nah. So yeah, I don't see him as a head coach, and I don't want him to be our head coach. He may be decorated with UEFA and stuff, maybe having been on a technical team for United, but you know nothing about CAF, and that's a fact.
Okay. Let me go to Gustavo. Gustavo, how do you feel about Benny maybe joining?
Penny as a head coach, man, hey, you look at the style of play of Sundowns. You're like, how many coaches can hit the shoe shine and piano? No, it's difficult to get the type of coach in. You know, it's difficult to get the type of coach in, and you don't just bring a different type coach like Benny. He doesn't really play that type of football. You know, football is not purely positional based. You know, so it becomes difficult when you're looking at him as a head coach. You're like, okay, what do you want? You know, is this another guy you are looking to control? And basically, you are the guy at the top, you're making him run things at the bottom. It's just following your instructions, you know? And he won't even have an ego to say I coached at Man United. He was coaching strikers and he wasn't successfully in doing that, you know? Strikers were not scoring goals either way. So there's that.
So are you saying for sure that's the way?
Sweet my for sure is the way. Joking.
Let me go to Tyler. Tyler, how do you feel about the news about Benny?
I think that would be a bad move. Very bad. But just to answer you on your first question, if whether Lenduka CAF is the mandate, Sundowns objectives, they always say so, is to win every single thing. So whoever comes in there as a coach, they have to win everything in every single game. And on top of that, you have Coach Rulani. I know people don't want me to mention Coach Rulani. I saw in the comments, Coach Rulani has set a bar. So whoever comes in, or even Coach Manqoba, that's why they haven't announced him. I don't know have you guys seen an announcement on Manqoba, if he's a head coach or what? Was officially.
Yeah.
There's no official announcement for him because they need to check him on games that are critical. Then they can start saying, no, he's our head coach. Why they haven't announced him if they have confidence on him? Why is that? And on top of that, he's changing the style of play because the players that are there at Sundowns, there was a type of play they were playing, and you assemble your squad according to this type of play. And even if you want to change the type of play, you do it gradually. You don't just change everything like he has done. And then he comes to the media and be arrogant and, about things. And you subbing Tembazwane, you're not playing Mudawe, you're not playing what's his name in the middle? Mokwena. You are hurting the national team. You are hurting the national team by doing that.
Let me be fair.
Yeah.
I just want to be fair to the others since time is running out. Agent and Gustavo, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Agent?
My 30 seconds is simple. What bar did Coach Rulani said? If anything is a paradigm of failure.
Wow.
If just not a one tackle thing. Can I speak? This is my 30 seconds. Can I be protected, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, can I be protected? Can I be protected? How? He's a failure. He failed at Pirates, he failed at Chipa, and he failed at Sundowns, He's a perennial failure. He's a paradigm of failure. What did he do? He failed to beat the same team twice. And people are saying Zwane is dropped. He's dropped Zwane on an M10 final. Played a Lende on an M10 final. He was just there to serve his father's team. So I don't want to hear Coach Rulani and Sundowns in the same sentence. He's a failure. And he's failing it right there. Thank you.
Gustavo?
Just to, we are still in preseason, Tyler. Coach Manqoba, they said this is overseeing the preseason, but we're still in preseason. But in terms of everything, man, Coach Rulani is not a failure. He broke records. It's there in the books. He reached 2 semifinals. It's there. It's a standard that Manqoba needs to maintain. Those finals that Rulani went to, Manqoba needs to get to also. But not to waste your time, we'll see for the next panel. Sure.
Danko! Guys, please, Tata scream. Let's try get to 20,000 likes. 20,000 likes is where we're going to go with this. Remember, it is, now we are timed, guys. Now we have to stay on point. So let me let the next panel in and we can go from there. So let's see. Who was here? I saw Paul. I saw Vuyo was here.
No,
Oh, I saw Vuyo. Who else did I see here? Oh, Prasipo. There we go. I thought I was missing you, Prasipo. And let me go. Hey, man, na Prasipo eba token. Okay, let's bring in Utube. Guys, remember, you have to be following me in order to jump in. You have to be following me. We're going to go Pirates at the hour, Malome Kuto. So, 8 o'clock, we should be starting Orlando Pirates. Guys, 20,000 likes. Let's go for 20,000 likes. Let me let in then Utruza. Okay, Tandeni, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
hey, finally, I'm worried.
Yeah, guys, please mute, man. Please mute. Okay, Tandeni, welcome to the show. Tell me, how did you feel about the 4-0 win, Sundowns versus Swallows?
OT, my network is bad, man. Let me just request. You can drop me.
Okay, no stress, no stress. Prampo. Man kemnati Prampo. Prampo.
Hey, ya wala smile bazatsia o again.
Ay man, kumnati man, Prampo.
Okoro tsakile.
Yeah.
Re a khora smile wa tsiwa. Re a khora bolela.
Fona ko Prampo. Sundowns 4-0. Bafana follows. We won is one.
Mara obvious. For example, give me a CAF president. Give
Motsepe.
First home and away. Tell go guy. Who was paying for hotel? Who was paying for those guys' hotel?
Sundowns was probably, I'm sure.
Obvious. That's an obvious case. Yeah, like free.
Oh, Prampo. Oh, thank you, Lucas, for the. Okay, let's go to Vuyo. Vuyo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Oti. How are you?
I'm good. I think Prampo is having a problem. I'll come back, Prampo. Vuyo, 4-0, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana Swallows, 8-0 on aggregate through to the Champions League group stages. How do you feel about the game?
As a Sundowns fan, I'm happy for the winning. It doesn't matter who play who. It doesn't matter. We can't count those things in football. We need to be professional. Whatever the situation is, by the way, I am Swat. From Swaziland, so I understand the things of the pitch and everything.
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't have the pitch where they must play, remember the game of Orlando Pirates play somewhere else, not in Mauritania. So it doesn't matter where you play. But I'm happy for the team. They done well. They win, and in the group stage, it doesn't matter who are playing against who. With the squad of Sundowns, I'm happy that the coach is giving everyone a chance, because remember, OT, all the players that are playing there at Sundowns that they are registered, they are all players for Sundowns. They need to game time to play. So everyone need to get a chance to play. When you get your chance to play, you need to perform. So I was very happy with the way he rotate the players. We done it before. Remember, Sundowns is not only playing this; it's still a long season. We also going to the CAF. You don't know who's going to get injured. You don't know who's going to be suspended. So you'll never know. So everyone must get a chance and play. That's all, OT, from my side.
Let me go to Dube. Dube, welcome to the show. How are you, my brother?
I'm fine, and you?
Mangimnandi. Lwandile. Mamelodi Sundowns 4-0 versus the Swallows. We won a game. How do you feel about the 8-0?
But for me, as for Mamelodi Sundowns fan, I'm very happy because most of the people, they were saying Sundowns going to lose this season, but my boys are doing very well this season. We're looking forward to the group stages, my bro.
What did you see that you liked? Ubonenda pa kule game man uyithandile. Lento uthi yazi uManqoba's the one.
Yeah, for rotates players. Give other players chance to play. Everyone will get a chance to play in Mamelodi Sundowns. As Mangoba Mngeti said, that everyone still have a chance to play for Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm very happy with Mangoba decisions to play everyone as they are all Mamelodi Sundowns players.
Okay. I'm gonna come back, Randile. Let me go to Truza. Truza, how's the network treating you now? Oh, I got it, Truza. Something's wrong there. Okay, let me do a quick substitution. Prampo?
Yes, my leader.
So, right.
Yes, my leader. Yeah, like I'm nothing, no.
Okay, no. Prampo, okay, then the question. Mangoba's made some changes. He's brought some people into the team. Is this a message, man, to Bale that maybe don't want to play for him? And does he rotate going forward? Then number 2, King mandate Mangoba.
Remember the mandate. CAF, they said they have to win CAF Champions League. Let's just be honest with ourselves as supporters, even though a coaching nation. Remember, there is something that we call Sundowns has been performing almost 7 years consistently. You understand? Now, Sundowns rebuilding stage now. Sundowns, if they can pass a knockout stage, it will be a lucky Sundowns. Now remember, Mango, I want to prove a point. Because the problem with this coach is they want to prove a point, or okay, me, I want to come with my own for whatever the system that you want to play with.
Yeah.
The challenge now, remember, those 2 players that they mentioned, they didn't play. You understand? And those players, they were key in that team. Even like you can see Sundowns, they're no longer playing like when they were under Mokwena. They changed completely because you want to set the way you want them to play. I can tell you, Sundowns this year, it will be a different team, and to gel, it will take time. Let's just be honest. That's a problem that I foresee with Sundowns. We are happy for them because they are presenting South Africa, but to go any further, it will be difficult. That's a problem that I see.
Okay.
And if they say they're rotating, I don't see what is rotating there.
Yeah.
Who's the new players now in Sundowns? Those players that were not playing under Mokwena. Now I want to prove that, okay, I know I can do better than Mokwena. The ego is going to destroy Sundowns.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
Let me go to Vuyo. Is this true rotation, or is it just Bambi Sabanye until the star players come back? And then number 2, what is the mandate for Mangoba? If he doesn't win CAF this year, does he get fired? If he gets to the final, is it better? How do you see the mandate for him in CAF?
First of all, it's not ukubambisa abanye, because of, as I say, they all got contract to play for Sundowns. They are all big players. They are all players that can play any team in the South African football. So you can't say ubambisa abanye. So even ngesikhathi sakaMancoba, there is certain games lebe kuchangewa khona ama players OT kudlala abanye abantwana. It's not ukuthi coach Rulani bekadlalisa ama player 1 every day. So like lento le young to sakubani ukuthi hawu kanti umkhona bekahlala dlala every day. I mean, I don't remember. Bekaba injured mos. Masiqeda iCAF Champions League, he was injured. So those izinto lezo ziyenzeka football. It's part of football ukuthi ama players abe injured. It's part of football ukuthi ama player abe suspended. It's part of football. Why we need substitute if we need only 11 players in the field of play? So we need to understand football in a way ukuthi sometimes they need to give other children a chance to play. And there's certain teams that you need to play against with certain players to save them the lot of energy, because we're still going to AFCON, we're still going to a lot of games to play. So it's still the beginning of the season, still early OT. So I think the coach is right to give everyone a chance, according to me. And when it's come to the CAF, yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. It's the beginning now. We're going to the group stage. The group stage is going to tell us where Sundowns is going to be. Not, I don't have a PhD, ukuthi ngibone kusasa kuzokwenzakala. No, I can't say lento leyo because of as ugly as they are playing. Ali play ugly football, but they are always in the they are always in the final. They are always being the champion. No one cares how they play. Yeah, so I don't know about that, OT.
Okay. Londile, is this a rotation or is it just Mangoba sending a message to some players? And then number two, mandate Mangoba, what is it in CAF Champions League? Does he have to go win it?
Hayi bafo. Eish, Mangoba Mncinci is very smart, my bro, yabo. Mangoba Mncinci is very smart. So for players rotation, yeah, I think maybe it's just ufuna mhlambe ukurotate ama players to just see who is ready to be in a starting 11 or some have still in injuries. The players like Johannes, they are still not perfect right 100%. They just need maybe 15 minutes in the field. So Mangoba Mncinci, yeah.
And then go
In the
CAF,
Champions League,
go CAF, yeah.
I think he will win it. To CAF, he must just play his football. The football that they are playing now in the league, they must play it in CAF. I think we'll win it.
So then if he gets to the semi-finals, is he fired?
I believe.
If he gets to the semi-finals, is he fired? Knocked out in the semis?
I know, I know, they will not fire him.
Yeah.
Mangoba is a very good coach.
Okay.
He's a good human being.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go to Prasipo. Let me bring in Prasipo. Prasipo, I'm going to throw into the deep end. Welcome. Mara, Prasipo, was this a message to the starters for Coach Mangoba to say, yes, guys, I've got other players that can take it, or is it just pure rotation? And then number two, what is his mandate, CAF? If he gets to the semi-finals, does he get fired? If he gets to the finals, one step more than last season, does he get fired? Is it CAF win or bust for him?
Evening OT and the guys there. It's been long, and
welcome back.
And I'm happy with I'm happy with the improvements OT of setting up time for all the panels to have enough time. First of all, congratulations to Sundowns and Pirates for making the group stages. As for Coach Mangoba, I don't think he's rotating. He's simply playing his players. And then also trying to see all those who are not playing during Rolane's time to get some game time. Like Maboe, I was surprised to see Maboe. I was like seeing a ghost. I thought Maboe was going to leave Sundowns and all these things. Suddenly he was playing. And then there is this player, Tshwane, Khoza, the two new boys that I've seen playing for Sundowns. So the way I've seen it, in my own opinion, he's just going to play his own players. I don't think the starters will come in because you saw a game against SuperSport. Zwan was on the bench.
Yeah.
Didn't play. So Rolane's players, players that Rolane was playing, they might not play. But I don't think he's got a mandate because he's not announced as a coach. There is no official statement from Sundowns to say Mangoba is our coach for the season or what. I don't know whether they don't trust him or they just want him to be there as they are still looking for a coach, because you can never know if the team does not announce you officially. And that's why I said there cannot be any mandate for him. He might not even be there when that CAF thing is coming. But let's wait and see. But that's my opinion on his mandate. Just to say he must win CAF or what? Yes, OT.
So then, Prasipo, just very quickly, how important is it then? Because this season, because they're going into the Club World Cup, can you have a mandateless caretaker coach for the whole season going into a Club World Cup? Is it something that Sundowns will be fine with waiting with?
Yeah, I think they might play that waiting game because Mangoba has been there. That's why they even allow him to bring in Khoza to come in. So for me, I don't think they have considered him to be the next coach.
Okay.
That's why they said he's taking charge of preseason. How can you say someone is taking charge of preseason? That basically saying the person is not the coach.
For time's sake, for time's sake, because the next question I'm going to ask, going to lead on to this. Let me go to Prampo. Prampo, Baripeni McCarthy, apparently he's in line for the job. How do you feel about Benny? Where does that put Mangoba, Libo for Khoza? Do you think it would be a right move to bring in a coach like that now?
I wanna more na le mushi mollo. Okawana mushi. Something is burning somewhere else. Mangoba. I hope I lose game J2. Only 2 games is gone. I don't wanna lie to you. Sundowns wanna this thing right again. They wanna win. Don't I wanna go tell you like coach just floating around. Just only one. If you can lose 2 games, mark this day, 23 is gone. It's history. Because it showed that they don't trust him. Why they not official? They said Mangoba say coach. Because they don't want to pay. You understand? The moment they said, okay, we give Mangoba maybe 3-year contract. That means now suddenly they are bound to, if they, they release him, they have to pay. Now, Mangoba is like a caretaker. That means they're looking for a coach. Whatever, Mena, I will tell you, or OT. Now I'm not going to support Spurs or Sundowns. The Chiefs, I don't care that, okay, South African, whatever. Understand? Not support the Chiefs or Baluza, I don't care. I'm a Chiefs for life. Okay, South African, whatever. I say it's born. Thank you, leadership. Today, this year, rare sharp leadership.
Let me go to Vuya. The rumors of Benny, how do you feel about it? And where does that leave Mangoba, Coach Mangoba? Where does it leave Coach Khoza, Coach Steve? Is it a good thing? If you're looking for a new coach, when does the new coach come in? How do you feel about these things?
We're staying in the same place, by the way, no problem. But so, you know what? I can't go to the media, but I heard that the rumors. But by the way, remember, Amazulu befuna coach, Mangoba refer Benny to Amazulu. So angazi mfethu ukuthi bangasebenzisana or kwenzakalani angazi awuthiyami lapho angazi angifuni ukukhuluma mama. But Benny McCarthy is one of the best in Fana. And to take only players with Sundowns, I always feel as an ex-football player, you know what, sometimes I need a money ex-football player as a head coach of Sundowns. You know what? Because sometimes when you look at the games, sometimes they need someone on the experience who knows in the field of play what is happening most of the time. Because of the coach-based coach before, he was never play football in the top leagues. So I angazi mfethu, but let's give Mangoba a support and give everything as a supporter of Sundowns. I don't want to criticize or doing whatever. He's the best coach and now he's in a certificate. So angifuni khuluma. I will just support yena. Whatever like if we see down, we will go down with yena if it's our time. Yeah, thank you.
Forever. Now let me go to Landile. Ndabas how do you feel about that? And what happens at Klapin? What happens to Coach Benny? To Coach Mangoba, to Coach Khoza, to Coach Steve? Is it the right time to make the move? How do you feel about the rumors about Benny?
Ngizwile ngawo lama rumors, but sometimes rumors don't happen, sometimes might happen, but we still fine with Mangoba Mngiti, my brother. I can't lie to you. Mangoba Mngiti is a good coach. You cannot take anything away from him. Yeah, as Mamelodi Sundowns supporters, there's only one thing that we must do, just to support Mangoba Mngiti And even Penny come, we don't have problem. We'll support him. As Mamelodi Sundowns supports us. So, but I still like Mangoba Mngiti to be in charge as Mamelodi Sundowns head coach, because Mangoba Mngiti knows Sundowns very well. Mangoba Mngiti has been 12 years in Mamelodi Sundowns, so you know everything. So Penny we will see.
Okay. Prasipo, we were talking about the reason why I wanted to just rush you there. There's rumors that Benny is coming in. Benny has been approached or they're negotiating. How do you feel about Benny coming in, and what does that do to Mangoba, to Coach Mangoba, to Coach Steve, to Coach Khoza? Is it the right time to bring in a coach right now? How do you feel about these rumors that are happening?
Yeah, OT, like Brampo said, there is no smoke without fire. Maybe they are negotiating, but they must just be careful, because when you're looking for a coach while we have a coach there, it might say something. But for the fact that Mangoba was never officially confirmed as a coach to take the team forward, he might have it at his back of his mind that here I'm not the coach, I'm just the caretaker. So maybe when the club has found their man, and then they will bring their coach. But I don't think Benny will go to Sundowns. Personally, I don't believe he will go there, because Benny, just like Pitso, they have their own demands, and Benny's not hungry like our South African coach, who will move from one club to another. So it might take a convincing, unless I heard Kumo said maybe might be coming in as a striker coach, which can also make sense. And then Sundowns has got the money to support that, something like that. So for me, I don't think Benny will maybe come in as a striker coach, or if he comes in as a head coach, it won't be a surprise, because Sundowns have a caretaker coach at the moment.
Prampo,
I think that's my opinion.
Prampo, when do you make the change? Because like now, Mamelodi Sundowns, it's the first time they're not going to have a coach that's over 10 years that's available at clubbing. Before that, from Pitso, they went to Rulani, they went to Mangoba. There's no one there. Where do they go from there very quickly?
I think it's that like I heard initially, they said standard official, they did went to Scotland to speak with Benny. Even Rob, his agent, he didn't want to comment. He said they are busy talking. Meaning that, like I'll repeat, my prayer, Mangoba, if you lose 2 games, it's gone. And that one is gone. If it's gone, don't know what another story. It's gone. Benny is coming. Sundowns, don't push any stress. Benny is coming. He's gonna try to push his own agenda, and Benny has ego personally. Ego. He's not gonna come as a striker coach. He's never gonna come to do that. He want to be in charge. And but Sundowns join the club of crying. Okay, thank you, Sundowns. When I join.
When do you make the change?
I don't know. It's up to the management, my brother. Because I can comment, Lana, and decide. Because remember, Otis, from the first place, it's not us who want Rulani out. So the management decide for us. So if you look at the record of Rulani, was wow. But because of he was a good coach, he's still coming just 1 year as a head coach. So we're looking a lot here, but it isn't as out here. So it's up to the management out here. That's why I say I will support whatever coach Lavas will a chance to support out here. Thank you for the opportunity.
The next panel is going to be going into what the Orlando Pirates side of this. Londile, very quickly, when would you make a coaching change? Like Sundowns, when would it be? End of the season.
As of so say, we don't know to the management, but I think, and even if Penny comes, he will be not a head coach. Maybe he will be a striker coach, or maybe head of technique. But I trust my management that they will make right decisions. And even he comes as head coach, as Mamelodi Sundowns supporters, will support him. Will support any coach that's come to Sundowns.
Okay. Andifuna ukusifasa, but it's fine. Let me go to Prasipo. Prasipo, when do you make the change? When do you decide to move Coach Mangoba aside? Do you do it now, end of the season? Do you wait? How should they move now if they were to make a change?
OT, the right time to get a coach, it's during the off season.
Okay.
So that the coach has got enough time to deal with players. It is never a good thing to fire a coach during the season. Unless maybe during mid-season when they'll have enough time in January to have time with players.
Yeah.
But then if Sundowns were to make that decision, maybe if they lose 2 to 3 games, it might put pressure on Mangoba and then maybe escalate the negotiations. But so far, Sundowns is doing well, except maybe losing on the M10-8. Maybe they normally don't win the M10-8. And then maybe, let's say, they lose out in CAF. Maybe they might. Or maybe they are not number one. Maybe we go into 10 games of the league and they are not number one. Just like now, they are not number one.
What
So
time,
it might create a problem.
You cannot go extra time. You cannot go extra time.
No, thanks,
Prasipo,
OT.
thank you.
OT, I wanted to come in for Pirates, but it's unfortunate I came in during Sundowns time.
Cannot
I
you
can't
win.
wait
You
to-
might get a chance.
I can't wait to come in. Okay, thank you.
Cannot queuing, man. You might be able to come back in. Guys, Tata Scream. We're trying to get to 20. Let's try get to 30. Let's try get to 40. And also, Lindo Pep show is going to be starting at 9. So if you want a more tactical breakdown of all these things, Lindo's show at 9 o'clock. The technical technocrat breakdown show is going to be at 9 o'clock. So please head on over that side. We're starting now with Orlando Pirates. We're going to go into the Orlando Pirates part of the show. So please make sure that you, if you're in the queue, understand that right now we're going to be speaking about Pirates. Let me just check something. My TikTok is doing something here. Let's come over before I can do this. Okay, let me get everybody in. Let me go to the guys who were not in, and then we can start there. Okay, wait. Let me just get this right. We're strict this time, Malume Kuzo. Aribu fela, man. Malume Kuzo, welcome. How are you, my brother?
Asumone. It's here African giant. It's here African giant.
African giant.
Ezinyama ngenkana ngemagebhe zekumhlaba pasibaza uphikisa phezulu phathi isigodini sikaMamenzela ememezi zigethi mathambo hlanganani today ahlangena mathambo bobo bhakabhaka happy people.
Hey, nasangana Jordaan Galaxy la 3-0 aggregate. How did you feel about the game on the weekend and also the tie altogether?
Beautiful game. You know, we've spoken on this show on numerous occasions about the dark arts experience.
Yeah.
I was sitting watching Orlando Pirates apply some CAF strategies. And by the way, Jordaan is a good team. But we worked hard on Jordaan. Sipo Chaine made sure that game is slow. With every goal kick, before taking goal kicks, he would first instruct the players, then go and collect the ball, then tell them to spread up. That would take about a minute or so off the clock. Then call Olisanda, who would also still give out instructions before taking that goal kick. With every free kick, with every possible foul we would draw, we made sure that we drew a foul. I've heard people complain that Gilberto carried the ball over, but the purpose was to draw fouls and make sure that the game is boring and unplayable. To a point that Jordaan could not even get shots going. They could not get going. There's a player who was introduced, number 37 of Jordaan, became very hostile because when we would take free kicks or throw-ins, he would try to bring the ball quickly, but the ball will be thrown back to him and say, Lbuise. When a free kick is around the 18 area, we'll go 3 meters forward, simply so that the referee can say, take it back. And that's more time again. You understand? By the time Johnny woke up, it was half time. By the time, half time, second half, by the time they stepped in, it was last minute. They were like, can't you
Yeah.
when the second half started, there were no ball boys. There was literally one ball at Orlando Stadium. One ball for the first 5 minutes of the second half. Where have you ever seen that? The ball I can go crowding. The crowd has to throw it back. Orlando Pirates, we are here. We are ready for everyone.
Okay. Let me go to Tommy. Tommy, I need that PhD here, man. Welcome. How are you?
Bro, OT. Oh, grand.
But Tommy. 3-0 on aggregate, 1-0 versus Jordaan. How did you see that game? How did you see the tie overall over the two legs?
Good evening to you, Braga, OT, and my fellow panelists here. By the way, the PhD told them 2 months ago that Orlando Pirates will compete well at CAF, and I was called all names. People were saying Pirates doesn't have depth and everything. They mentioned a lot of things. I told them that I saw those things. In fact, I've said many things in the past where people made fun of my points, and I brought points to it. Even now, many have came to back me up to say, yeah, Orlando Pirates is really competing well and stuff. This is the thing here, OT. We are talking about a coach that got this team. They were number 10 on the log and made them number 2. The second league, the second season again, he made the team to be number 2 on the log. Qualified the team to play Champions League 2 times in a row. That alone cannot be left alone. For the first time now that he has a first 11, a formidable first 11, he has now realized, and he has studied the Champions League, that in Champions League you don't need to play a good football. You don't need to, it doesn't need to be nice on the eye. It's not like a European Champions League whereby you have to play good football and stuff. This is African football, and unfortunately, it's not out there for many to study it. If you can check the team that we played against, we didn't even have their data. We didn't even know about them and stuff. But here in Africa, you just have to know that you have to play dirty and win. Yeah. We didn't play very well. To be honest with you, we didn't play like our normal Orlando Pirates. But what we made sure that we don't give Jordaan chances or clear chances. They had one shot at goal, of which was not even a threat. Even when we went to Botswana, they played well, far better than us. But we are the one who won both games. So there alone, it shows you the kind of character and the genius that is with the men that you see there. If you look at my picture, you'll see the coach Jose Rivero, by far one of the best coaches in PSL, and congratulations to him and also Mamelodi Sundowns. So I can tell you without any fear of doubt that we're going to compete well as far as CAF is concerned.
Let me go to Montana. Montana, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Mr. OT.
Hi, man.
Uhle tata siyavuka man. Aputi and Mr. PhD.
Yeah, Puti zawukrend.
Uhle tata man.
Where do you start? Oh, there's no MP.
Okay, Mr. OT, let me start first by saying to correct Mr. Tammy. Mr. PhD, I don't think Rivero is a good coach. You are more like a Sundowns, like you have so many. I don't know if it's Sneakers, it was good there, or it's Rivero. Or before it was Tattoo Streamer Shabala, I don't know who are picking the squad, but let me move on. Pirates is not going anywhere. It's gonna be the same Pirates that we saw in previous seasons on this CAF. The only team that always make a statement is the team that I don't like, is Sundowns. When you make a statement, especially in those preliminary rounds, you have to make a statement if you want the fans to see if you are serious on progressing group stages or on quarterfinals. You have to make a statement, especially against the teams from Botswana who have I think it's not even the top 10 league in Africa, but you are struggling to beat Tshwane and you are defending. I don't think that was a statement that Pirates was supposed to show the fans that we are here, we're gonna beat the big clubs that we're gonna meet in those big stages, quarterfinals or semi-finals. Yes, for a fan, you're gonna justify your team because you want our teams to progress to other stages, but I don't think they're gonna progress to the quarterfinals. It will be a huge miracle, huge one.
Okay. I'm gonna come back. Let me go to Tyler. Tyler, how did you feel about Pirates and how they got through Jordaan?
OT, thanks once again for giving me the platform. Evening to everyone. Pirates, I think when I look at it, OT, since last season, the way describe Orlando Pirates, and they've been inconsistent in the league. And we've seen that, and they only pick up in the last 10 games in the league. That is how Tito won his player of the season or player of the year. I don't know what that is. And now this, in the addition of this of Champions League, it's going to ban a lot of players. On top of that, they're inconsistent in the league, and you watch now. Look at what time they're winning their games, right? So if they're facing the better opponents, your Esperance and the other guys that will be there, the top 10 teams in Africa, they're going to struggle. I'm telling you now. They faced this team, and this team has beaten them before. Look how they struggled in the second leg. So they don't have the squad. I think that's number one. They don't have the squad that can carry them to the next phase of the Champions League. They might get out of the group stages, but what matters most, they're going to be found wanting because you're playing the same legs. For example, if you are using the same car, you drive throughout the provinces, throughout the year, there comes a point where it's going to break. It's going to need a service. And there's going to be a point where Masangwani is going to be tired. The young boy Mafukeng is going to be tired. Saleng is going to be tired and stop running. What are you going to do? You look at their bench. Who are you going to bring there? Even the player they brought from Africa, that boy, also, he's not that of a good player. Yes, he runs and all of that, but he's not that good. So I don't see them progressing in the Champions League.
Okay. I'm going to come back. Let me, and on that point, Malebe Kutso, I've got two questions for you. You highlighted how Paris played a slower game. They played a more African game. What type of benefit does that have coming back to the PSL? Does it help them in terms of maybe varying the game in the PSL, number one? And then number two, squad rotation and sacrifice. How important are those things going to be this season? You can't go for every trophy. You can't, have the same players play all the games. How confident are you with the squad rotation? And do you guys have to sacrifice anything?
You know how minions are Pirates. You will wake up in ICU. Tyler ICU. But anyway, Mr. Oti, we are rotating a squad, guys. Slowly but surely, we are integrating our player. Chilpete is getting a taste. Chilpete is very good. People are saying Kanaking technically he's not good. He's very good, actually. Carries the ball extremely well. Moves around the pitch extremely well. It's just that sometimes we have people who are refusing to integrate new players. And it's also the duty of the more experienced players to read new players. Ulfuna Wupi, Miguel Pete, is it worthy that I make a run or not? You understand? For example, it's of no use to play a hot through ball for Tshegofatso Mabasa. It has to be measured. So if you play a hot through ball, what are you expecting? He can't sprint and get it like that. You understand?
Yeah.
It has to be a measured through ball. So with Gilbert, they have to learn, which, okay, maybe it's unnecessary to make a certain run, and maybe making a specific run around Gilberto serves the purpose of being a decoy and not necessarily expecting the ball. You understand? He's a dynamic player. Uba Wisila Matota, he has a good first touch on him. So no need to be worried. We've rotated a lot of players in the middle of the park. We've played Tim, we've played Mbata, we've played Makau, Kimang, Makaula.
Yeah,
Is it Makaula?
Makaula.
Yeah, we've played Makaula, we've played Udlamini, we've even played, I think, at some point to Tito, dropping even lower.
Yeah.
So with that regard, we are good. On the wings, we've used the booking video already. In as much as it's not as explicit as on the Sundowns part, we've done it in a subtle manner. We've used the booking video. We've used Gilberto, we've used Saleng, we've used Kanakimang Umfukeng, Dibalandonina, you understand? Up front, we've already introduced Radio Pane, we've already used Kanakimang, this guy, Mabasa, we've already used Makopa, you understand? In as much as people think we're not rotating, we actually are. We've used Spisi, we've used 3 center backs, I think. Spisi, Olisanda, Sesane, we've used 2 right backs in the form of
Monyane
Van Rooyen
and Van
Rooyen. We've used 2 left backs in the form of Mayela as well as Uhoto. So in as much as people think we're not rotating, I can even throw into the bag and say we've used Undlondlo. You understand? We are warming up the engines. Even Motavelu start to Kichimenga. Some people are already ready. You understand? The starting lineup, let's remember, they also played the Nedbank Cup final, which is not a long time ago. So that aspect of the team is already ready to go. So we are moving forward with what we've already established. And now what's about Esperance? Hi, man. We've done this before, Mr. Uti. We've done this before.
Yeah.
Especially Esperance. The last time we won a semi-final in the Champions League, we were beating Esperance. The last time a South African team faced Esperance in the Champions League semi-final, they were losing. So good levels up, Mr. Uti. When Happy Chele scored Ahakanano Roy Mahamudza in Esperance, it was Pirates going to the finals. Abanye, they were losing. It was Esperance going to the finals. So South Africa is in safe hands. We will represent you. Season Mela, see Orlando Pirates. We will make sure that we make you proud. You will walk in the streets of South Africa with your head up high. They will speak about South Africa in the streets of Abidjan, streets of Nairobi, streets of Lagos, streets of Cairo. They will know what South Africa is because of Orlando Pirates. Thank you, Mr. Uti.
Tommy, the same 2 questions to you. This different type of football, the slower game, the African game, what type of benefits will it have in the PSL setup for Orlando Pirates? And then secondly, can you speak on squad rotation and sacrifice? Because I think to scale Africa or to win the leagues or to do all those things, something must be sacrificed and maybe you must play a bit differently. How do you feel about those 2 things, squad rotation and sacrifice?
Mike.
Tommy, just try it now. Okay, this is what I'll do. Tommy, I'm going to take you off. Please request. It seems that when I mute on my side, there's a little bit of an issue. So, Tommy, I'm going to take you off. Request. I'll let you back in, and it should be working. Montana, you heard the 2 questions. How do you feel?
Can you repeat the question? I went to the loo, Mr. Oti.
The slow game, can it be beneficial for Pirates in the PSL? Number 1. And then number 2, squad rotation and sacrifice. How important are those things going to be for Pirates? And can they sacrifice trophies? And can they trust the rest of the squad?
I'll start by the last question. The only trophy they will sacrifice, I think it's Nedbank. because they haven't won a league since the days of Mandela was still a president. I don't know, I'm not sure, Mbeki. So I think that, and it's gonna take a big toll on them if they're gonna go for a league and the CAF, because we all know that CAF it takes its toll on players of those traveling and what and not. On rotating, they have so many players. I think they are the most teams that have players in PSL, if I'm not mistaken. In terms of rotating, it will up to the coach, because I don't think when it comes to Africa, they're gonna bring those experiments on players. I think we'll serve the likes of Dolto on those Nedbanks and those Carling Cup, not on league and because they want to win this cup and the league, because they have not been they won this cup where I don't the first one, Mandela was not even a president, the CAF. The last time they win, I'm not sure if they still have it on their cabinet. But yeah, on in terms of having so much players and the quality, they are there. The players are there. I'm not sure if we haven't seen the ambulance since Jomosono said he's a mosquito or what. We haven't seen him since. But yeah, they have good players on their squad.
Okay. Let me go
I'm
to.
sure he's still trying wherever he is. He's still we with the ambulance.
For time, Mar. Let me go to Tyler. Tyler, same two questions. Will the slow game add anything for Pirates in the PSL? Learning the slow game, and then squad rotation and sacrifice, things that you might say Pirates hasn't done that well up to this point under Jose Rivero. How important is that going to be this season?
I think I don't want to reinvent the wheel, OT. I think I've said a mouthful about that. Both questions. Yeah, no, I don't want to reinvent the wheel, because I will repeat the same thing. Yeah.
You want to touch on anything else, maybe?
What's your second question again?
The second question was about squad rotation and sacrifice. Can you touch on that? How important will that be for Pirates, especially for a team that maybe hasn't rotated that well, and maybe being a team that has won the MTN 8 and the Nedbank? Now they're trying to go for the league. Can you go for the league, the Nedbank, the Carling, the MTN 8, and the Champions League? Does something need to be sacrificed?
No ways. They're not gonna win the Champions League. They must just forget about that one. Yes, they might win, because the consolidation of their squad is designed to win. Your 4 games, because if you're playing MTN or these local cups, you play 4 games, you're in the final. And you play your best, and that is how they've been winning these cups, because they've got a squad that can perform for cups, not for a longer period. I think the colleague has already mentioned that, to say there's going to be traveling. And most of these players, some of them are fringe players. They're not used to that type of that load. And even in their legs, because you have not been playing them. They don't have professional football on their legs. When last did Ndlondlo play? So even the type of football Pirates play depends on certain players. And if those players are not performing, I think you've already seen Mufokeng not coming to the party. And Saleng has to carry the team. You've already seen Masangwani. He's dropping slowly, surely he's dropping, and the team is not that performing. That's why you now see goals coming at your 94th minutes. Because they as you are saying, they're slowing the game, and now one must come in and just rush and try to score. So they're not gonna make it. Honestly, they're not gonna make it. Maybe in the PSL they're gonna win something, but not the league, obviously, because their stats shows that for long competition, they don't last.
I want to bring in Tammy. Tammy, it's the two questions. What positives does the slower African game give Pirates, or advantages does it give Pirates coming into the PSL, number one? And then number two, squad rotation and sacrifice. How important are those things going to be in this season, and what can Pirates do in that regard?
To be honest, I hear people talking, yeah, and I think we don't have the full understanding of how Jose Rivero is really planning on this. Jose Rivero is relying, I mean, it's proven, we can see that, he's relying on his first 11, of which I think anyone can mention the first 11 of Jose Rivero. I mean, from our goalkeeper to our striker. I mean, anyone can name that 11, with closing our eyes. That alone just shows us that he wants everyone who wants to get into the squad, he must compete well in the team, within our team. So that one, it depends with the system that we want to use based on which team are we playing against. Okay, let's forget about the Champions League for a moment. If you check the matches that we played last season, we played according to the teams that we're facing. If we were facing Sundowns, would release Mabasa and play Mahopa. You understand? So we are planning according to the opponents. And when we play in the Champions League, we also plan according to the opponents and also the tournaments that we're in. We cannot use the same system, playing different teams like I can give you just an example. The game that you saw us playing against Jordaan, we'll be playing a different game tomorrow. You understand? So people must never think that the way we played against Jordaan is the very same way we're going to play against PSL teams. It cannot be. For an example, Tito Maswanganye, the one that you saw against Jordaan, won't be the same Tito Maswanganye as you saw, because the one of yesterday, of against Jordaan, was more about experience. More about not shining as one would expect, not doing those things, those trickery of stepping over the ball and stuff. We understand that we are playing the Champions League. We need to grill and drill the results. So it's not about looking nice and stuff, but when we come to the PSL, it's going to be a different ball game. So it's fine, we keep them guessing as they would want. My only concern though would be the issue of Sipho Tshwane as a goalkeeper. I'm not sure about those boys because they are inexperienced. But if I were to give you Paseka Mako is back. I've got Dion van Rooyen. I've got Talent Mbata, whom was in the bench even against Jordaan. It just shows you the level of depth that we have. I still have team. And to be honest, there's two squads that we.
Oh, Tommy?
The squad that we had. Oh, yeah,
No,
hello,
it
can you hear me?
can't. It
I'm
can't
saying
say
the
for
squad that
everything.
we had in. Yeah, no, sorry. But the squad that we had when we won the Champions League, the first Champions League, from Jerry's Kosan, McFish, you mentioned them, all 11. We didn't need many players to win the Champions League. Even the other squads, Sabo Opamanyisa, Andile Jali, Happy Jele, Senzo Meiwa, we just didn't need many players. So we don't need many players to win the Champions League. You just need a first 11 and have those players that you can really, introduce.
I let you go into host extra time, host stoppage time. But thank you so much, Tammy. We're gonna go into the final panel for tonight, guys. Tata scream, man, Tata scream. Let's try to get to 30,000, 40,000. We've got another 35 minutes left. So please tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen. Remember, at 9 o'clock, Lindo Pep will be coming in. Much more tactical, much more breakdown of the show, of the matches in terms of tactics and all that. He's coaches, you know what Lindo has. So at 9 p.m., he's going to come in at Lindo Pep. You'll be able to watch it there on that side. Let me get in the other panel while you guys tap the screen there. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, it is available. You just have to go to my YouTube page, The Overthinking Football Show. Click on join. You gain access to the WhatsApp group, and we can go and have these conversations a lot more, a lot longer. Guys, please mute when you come in, or else we're gonna hear your conversations. Okay, No, we'll give you advice even. While I'm still getting everybody in, Moshikaro, Tato Slogs, Tyler, Druza, and Unati, as well as Semi Mabua, and Agent and Malume Kutso. Thank you so much for the gifts on that side. Let me go to Ustes. Te, Sokren, welcome, how are you?
Sure, Mr. OT.
Say welcome. Say now Pirates running. How do you feel about it?
Mr. OT ngizothini kodwa ngoba hey lama fans Pirates asekhulume kakhulu ngayo le game. Ungathi kunento exciting kanti akuna next nje. Yabo. Yona game ibi right from ekuqaleni up until ku finish. Balithola ke igoli ngoba indaba zama has minute izinto zabo kulamalanga. Yabo. But overall ngibona ngathi mina basazo struggle throughout the tournament le because akusiwonke ama team oyodlala nawo afana njengejwaleng azokala ukuthi ukore ngama has minute.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Jose Rivero mangana plan rely ku Saleng every time. And angeke sibe ne short ukuthi uSaleng uzowakora ama goal lawo ama last minute each and every time. Kwenzeke njalo against the cheaper uyaphinda futhi manje against iJoining Galaxy kwenzeka the very same thing ukuthi uSaleng enzeni azoba rescue. So ngibona ngathi game yona ihambe kahle. Nedi kumele bathole elinye iplani elokuthi bazosebenza kanjani because inhlanhla ayisebenzi njalo Mr. OT. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna come back. There's a question I wanna ask. Let me go to Wesley. Wesley, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, what up, my girls?
No, I'm good. Pirates 3-0 victors over Jordaan, 1-0 this weekend. How do you feel about those games?
Man, you know, I'm just wondering to myself because there's a bit of comparison that is kind of made outside there. I remember this other day, this other guy said, yeah, Sundowns is very patient. Sundowns is very patient. So when Pirates becomes very patient and then people are getting worried, I don't understand. Pirates is trying to play football that is, I love the way that they are playing, man. It's just that people, they expect too much from these players, forgetting that they have started playing a lot of games now. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at Maswanganyi and I'm like, you see if the coach can just rest him a bit, you know. And I'm looking at the likes of Bomo Fukeng, if they can just rest them a bit as well. Like, I feel like these players have been playing and they are tired, you know. But I always feel like there's always a plan. You know, there's always a plan. Be patient with the ball when you get to the final third, and then look at where you can open the pocket, pass through the ball, and then you get a goal. Whatever the timing, it doesn't really matter from my point of view, because really when it's Sundowns, it's okay, they are patient. When it's Pirates, it's another story. So, man, what can we say? But I love the way that they're playing, man.
Okay. Let me go to Peko. Peko, how are you?
Yeah, right. OT.
Mangimnandi Peko. Now Pirates Jordaan. Finally, they got the revenge 3-0. How did you see these two games?
No, the first game, I understand it was a Rivero. Befuno crying the results, of which we winning the first game. Because last year, if I remember well, we could joining one year better. Joining Galaxy. So, first leg, we beat joining Galaxy. But I feel like the second leg was supposed to at least have just new 5 players. Like MTN 8 was 7 are the same players. The league was 7 are the same players. Even Champions League are 7 are the same players. Zambambe's teams are Champions League because on that bazo Qatar like about Tito, you can see is not the same. But sometimes I understand Mhlawumbe Uzam restis when he's doing well. I don't know, but I feel like abo Kamvui to deserve some 30 minutes like abo Mekwel team nje abadlalise kwezi stages ngoku isaqala Champions League so that angabatshintshi when enyanzelekile uba abafake like let's say Tito gets injured now you have to play Udlami you have to play Kamvui now and you expect Kamvui to be at his best yabo yena nje makazama yazi uba if I don't have a Tito I have Kamvui, if I don't have Nda I have Sibisi yabo
yeah
you have your Mayelas up or Makgopa. This is a big stage. I think this is where Makgopa needs to play Champions League. Can't play Mabasa every 3 days. He must learn with Sundowns. Look at Sundowns while they say about completely first 11 enter. Makafunde kwezinye team ba ziyenza kanjani lento. Like your rotation and stuff, but doesn't mean you have to change the whole team. Just few players. Uba game time. Your ndlondlos, your teams, yabona.
Okay.
Because ngoku bagqibela kudala udlala then uzabafaka xa sewunyanzelekile uba ubafake when you really need umuntu ozawureplace loo player.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. But let me get Agent back in. Agent, how do you feel about how Paris performed versus running?
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be that we are jealous, they will say that I will come in and Paris loses. Let me just say honorary appearance, and while I'm honorary, let's also mention Stellis. I think they also passed to group stages, so I think it's also nice, and I feel like they have enough in them to go find that competition, but again, it's going to be the same question with Paris that like, what do we have enough squad depth? Do we have enough experience and stuff like that? But on last minute goals, I just wanted to say that there was a certain coach somewhere very, very long time back, that used to win on goals and he was labeled the best African young talent, and he was the best coach ever at a certain big team, that has won Champions League before, by the way, so it's nothing new. It happens when luck is on your side, or with luck, whatever, it's on your side, use it, so I have no problems with last minute goals, to be fair with you. And I think with regards to the running game, I think Coach Rivera approached it well. I think if you follow the African football, Jwaneng lost 1-0 to Simba, was it Yanga, but one of the Tanzanian giants, but I think it's Simba, lost 1-0 in Botswana, went to Benjamin Kappa Stadium, won 3-1 and qualified, so I don't think Coach Jose was willing to take that risk and do a rotation, and in CAF, the only way to do rotation is to win the first 3 games, and then you can do your rotation. You can only do rotation in the league. And like you're saying, I don't think people understand your question. We say you have to sacrifice something. You have to, you have to choose where you're going to rotate, and where you rotate is where you're going to draw points. So I think you'll have to sacrifice the league. Yes, if they win, but somehow, somewhere, you have to rotate on the league and. Yeah, and I think overall in terms of like exploits, I think they'll do well. Because I think the style of play suits CAF more than Sundowns style of play, because that Sundowns style of play is the league thing. It's not a cup thing. Parents play cup football, so I think if they can get out of the group stages, I'm afraid. That's all I can say. I won't say the words out of my mouth.
Kind of that coach you're talking about. What was it? Crayon football, crocodile football? There was something, man. I can't remember it. Let me go to Let me go to who's Tembiso? Stepfather. How are you, my brother?
Hey, othi ngithatha ngibona ukuthi hawu kushintsha igama nje.
Ayishintsha igama ngisazi ukuthi owe-Pirates or maybe ufavor amaZulu angisazi.
Sebebaningi othi baningi.
Uyibone njani igame yenu neswaneni?
Before nje ngingene kwi-point lami for the first time ngizwa u-agent ekhuluma ibhola not ekhuluma nge-Sundowns ekhuluma nje ngebhola in general. Siyabonga agent, uyalazi ukuthi udaba lumngake u-agent u-understand ukuthi i-Pirates iyingozi. Going to igame ye-Pirates ne-Jwaneng, i-Pirates bafethu bahambe laphana e-Orlando bayokwenza into simple. Abayanga laphana ukuyokwenza lento yama-record nani bayele laphana ukuyothola ama-results of which is getting us to the group stages. Vele sesisatholile Botswana ama-result vele lapha bese soqedela igame. We just there to manage our players, bengalahli momentum, just win for those guys who were at Orlando. Not that it was important for us to win, but win for those guys who were at Orlando. Kodwa into yenza lapho it's ungalahli momentum. Because sinama games amaningi. And I need to break it down for the guys. Othi ngiyabezwa bathi Pirates or Safarisha. Guys, it's only 4 teams groupini. It's only 4 teams. After that, it's quarterfinals and semifinals. It's only 4 teams groupini. The only thing at trainer now lapana ilama group stages because you go there, you come back. After that, it's quarterfinals, semifinals. So if we manage to go number 2 or number 1 groupini, then quarterfinals, we've never lost a quarterfinal in our lives. Since it was there, figured a Pirate, we have never lost a semi-final ever since it was there, figured Pirate. So guys must relax. Tina once sadly ama group stages. Sizobakhombisa laba basePitori abo agent ukuthi kwenziwa njani masubona imali ukuthi masasondele iminyango wemali ukuthi nayo imali siyayibona manje siyafika kuyo sayithatha.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. Let me go back to Seth. What is Jose's mandate this season? And I want to look at the whole season. What is his mandate? What is a great season? What is an okay season? What is the bare minimum for Jose this season? 3 years into his job at Pirates, now going into the Champions League.
Mr. OT, I think Jose Rivero kule season kahle bokumele aphushele ukuwina i-league. Leyo bokumele kube ibe minimum yakhe because in the past 2 seasons he has won ama-domestic cups wonke lawa e-South Africa. So we cannot keep asking for ama-domestic cups as ama-fans would know qhubeka kuwina i-MTN, qhubeka kuwina i-Nedbank, whereas i-cup elikhulu kunawo wonke yini i-league. So yena kahle bokumele kuba ufocusa kuphi eku-league. Le ndaba le Champions League bokumele lapha angene nje ukuze ayokhompyutha ngoba uyaqala ukungena ngisho. Since angena kokuqala kanje kumele afike lapha adlala abone ukuthi kudlalwa kanjani, angangeni ngokuthi yena ufuna ukwenzani ukuwina iChampions League, because I can assure you now if bona bangena lapha bathi hey siyofika ku final sifocusa ku Champions League kakhulu, they will struggle ku league because lento le ike yenzeka ngani ngeChiefs even though bongamelanga basayine ama player 2019 to 20 badlala iChampions League benzani yabastruggle ku league bafinisha number 8. So naye akumelanga angene lapha ngale mentality ukuthi wonke ama players wami ngizowa reserve ngofake kuphi ku Champions League because ngifuna ini ukuwina yona. I-mandate yakhe yena ukuthini ngiwine ini i-league because yili cup elishodayo kuyi. And now ama-fans kumele kube ibe minimum kuwo yini ile league le edlalwayo eSouth Africa. Le i-chance yakhe ukuthi enzeni awise yini i-Sundowns since uPep Guardiola wethu angasekho la eSouth Africa, yabo. So yena akafocus kakhulu kule league because ila ane chance khona. Ngale kubo Ahly nabo Raja Casablanca ayi kunzima kakhulu. Na i-final yeza MTN 8 nakhona usengalithatha elinye cup enze ini i-repeat enalapho uyobe wenze umsebenzi omuhle, but makhamba isikhathi abantu kumele ebamove from lama cups lawo ayi2 baye kuphi ku league because yili cup elikhulu la eSouth Africa. Makuthiwa kufuneka ama champions wala eSouth Africa kumele kulandwe ini ama league champions, so naye kumele azame ukuthi afike lapho.
Let me go to Wesley. Wesley, same question to you. What is Jose's mandate? What must he do this season? What is a good season? What is a bad season? What is an okay season? What is the bare minimum? What is expected of Jose this season?
You know, my brother, me personally, I'm looking at this thing this way. I've been looking at how Chiefs is trying to structure their team. it is within themselves, they have accepted the fact that they are actually trying to build now. I
Yeah.
think then with that fact, we can also come to Orlando Pirates and say the instruction is not to even put the coach under the bus. I think he's been doing well. So I just think the mandate for the coach this season was to say, let's improve from our previous season. Let's do better than the last season. Of which in this case, I think it will be the fact that let us go over the stage when it comes to CAF where we couldn't go over last season, and then let's come and still maintain the cup winning with those cup tournaments, and then let's go to the league and let's compete. You know, I don't think they would actually give Jose Rivero a mandate to say, we want you to win us the league, we want you to win us the CAF. No, I don't think that's the mandate. The mandate in Jegimi, I think, is to improve from what we did from last year.
Okay. Peko, what's the best? What's the lowest which was there winner for people to be happy? Ngoba ngiyezwa abantu bakhuluma nge-league and winning this thing and winning that thing and going far and what that. Mara, what's the minimum mandate got Jose for this season?
Okay. I think if Jose, because it looks like it's normal to win MTN 8 for Jose. I think Jose win a league at defender. Nedbank Cup in MTN 8. I think ingaba season right kakhulu for Jose Rivero. Even if ku Champions League uyahlulakala kuma semi-finals, because I don't think bazayewina the Champions League. Even if uyahlulakala kuma semi-finals, just for the players, when a feeling ukudlala phasi, when is experience the Champions League stage kwenzeka ntoni phaya abantu, so that bazobuya strong next season. But I think improve njengoba napha eligini, yabo angaboni ngoJose Rivero ngoku manage nje team kakhulu eligini, umbone ngo-drop points xa seyizophela ileague kube ngona i-Orlando Pirates ngoku is challenging for the second spot. Funeke ngoku kusekutsha azame results, azame grind results, so that at least azame league challenge the Sundowns. League nayo izoke ibe competitive, man, yabona, ingabi that obvious. Sundowns this season, Sundowns yabona, I win a league, then as I win MTN 8, very optimistic about it. Nedbank Cup, we can win Nedbank. Even if we win MTN 8 in a league, I think the league is going to be very important for Jose this season. Justin Jebe Chilo is lapa who improve from last season. And I win. It's not a cup team, Orlando Pirates. He win a league. I want to be more consistent this season.
Okay.
Consistent this season. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go to Agent. Agent, what is Jose's mandate? Because, you know, if I'm looking at it from what you said, what you spoke about, it would be easier to go for the Champions League than to try and compete for a 30-game league and Nedbank and what on top of it. What is the mandate for Jose this season? What is the barest of minimums that he can give Pirates for them to be happy?
If ever there's a coach who doesn't have a mandate, this has to be Jose. No, he doesn't have a mandate, Shem. This guy has what does it call that thing in wrestling? What is it called? Money in the bank.
Oh yeah.
He has a lot of money in the bank, Shem. So even if he can lose all the games from now until next year, Shem, no, he will still be fine. You know. And that is kudos to him. So I don't think I would say he has any mandate. I think for him, it's just personal egos. That maybe I want to win the league, you know. I think maybe that can be a personal ego. But as for Pirates fans, then the nice thing about Pirates fans is they know that position, at least the rational ones, you know, that we are a cup team, Sundowns will take your league, will take our cups, and other teams will go throatless, and it's fine. The competition goes on. But I think for Jose, for me, it would just be a case of already you're in a cup final, which I wanted you to have this season. I wanted you to go to the group stages of CAF, which you have done, and that tick. Can you now reduce that difference between Sundowns? And obviously, I think there will be champions, number 2 champions, obviously. But it's a case of can they reduce that point to the 2 champions, which are number 1? So I think if maybe they can shrink that points tally to maybe 15 points, maybe 18, I think that will still be good. And then maybe position 3, if not position 2 in CAF. Then but for me, I think he has already done 90% of what he needs to do this season, to be fair with you. So I don't think he has any mandate on my side.
Hey, it must be nice. Let me go to Stepfather. Stepfather, do you agree, no agent? Mandate your coach, what is it? Must he go win the league? Must he go win the Champions League? Is it possible? And then Nina, as Pirates fans, as the barest minimums, if maybe you say, hey, utata one trophy or one thing, what would you guys say?
ade ngisamncoma agent because sami ngikhuluma ngebhola namhlanje akwavuka ukuthi u-agent bengisamncoma ngithi namhlanje ukhuluma ngebhola akazi ukuzoshumayeza ngeSundowns yakhe akwavuka kodwa ke ku-Pirates thina as ama-fans singaba happy ukuwin i-league this season and it's possible for us to win i-league, Nedbank, MTN 8. We can do well with Champions League. I think as for a team, I think it mandates ukuthi awine i-league. Yes, do well with Champions League, vele ama-cups awakhe kuyaziwa lokho. But I think for us as fans, siyafuna ukuthi siwine i-league. I think management, I think they have given him a mandate ukuthi go do well with Champions League, win us the league. You understand? For us, it is possible for us to do well with Champions League, and it's possible for us to win a triple this season. And we can do it, yabo.
Okay. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to allow everybody a minute, man, just to say what they need to say. Please, man, be nice. I'm going to give you a minute. What are you closing with?
Mr. OT, mina ngivala ngokuthi people should be looking at i-league if you favor i-Pirates. Yiyo i-cup elikhulu elishodayo ku-Rivero. Indaba ye-Champions League uzayibona amakhamba iminyaka because angeke umane uvuke kusasa wena usuwina i-league i-Champions League kanjalo nje. Kuyasetshenzwa lapho. We saw abo Rulani bastruggle kanjani kubo Esperance, we saw bastruggle kanjani la eSouth Africa. So angeke sisho angeke simane sikhulume just to feed ama delusions wabantu ukuthi i-Pirates can go on and win the Champions League kanjalo nje. Bangakasebenzi lutho. Cha, Mr. OT. Into kumele yenzeke ukuthi bafocus ku league before ebaya kule ephezulu kuneyabo. And lastly, Mr. OT, ngicela ukukhuluma ngale nto engekho related kule game ku Sundowns and Pirates.
Very quickly.
Ngicela ukukhuluma ngoRulani, Mr. OT. If ukhona umuntu kule panel ohambayo ayo comment under ama post we-Wydad agxe uRulani, please stop ugenza into kanjalo. uRulani has left South African football and has gone to Morocco. Now ngiyamangala mangibona abantu bamlandela even lapha ebamthuka benza konke abakwenzayo bathi hayi angeke uzuphumelela ini ayilunganga lento leyo. Yabo Mr. OT, ilento engifuna ukugisho nje ukuthi akukuhle ukuthi singagxeka umuntu wethu la eSouth Africa mase kahambile simlandele even lapho ayikhona ayekwe lento leyo. Ngiyabonga Mr. OT.
Hey, okay, no, let me go to Peko. Peko, you've got a minute. What do you want to say in closing?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I can't do it, man. It's just that I'm happy with this season, but there are 2 teams who have qualified for group stages. I so wish, man, single teams to just represent them. Because even if it's favor Kaizer Chiefs, but when senior teams is lullaby, we have to support these teams as the Champions League. So I'm happy. Yabo. So nathi ke Mr. UT fanele sisebenze nzima nathi aba at least manje ke sidlale sensasigqibele ukuphuma kwefinal kulanyaka ka Gavin Hunt. So akho nto ingakho man yilonto nje uthi.
Okay, no, Peko. Thank you so much. Stepfather, Ivale mfana.
Othi yazi I think before umuntu angene kupanel othi ngicela urun i-test abosithe bayadinga ukuthi ubabuze imibuzo embalwa ukuthi uqale nini ukubuka le bhola mase sizositshela ukuthi kumele sifocuse kephi singafocus eAfrica. The reason kunama-team awu-2 e-Africa right now it's because of Orlando Pirates. So mase sizozwa ngabantu abangene esibakhandela ispace sokuthi kube nama-team awu-2 ukuthi kumele senzeni ekubeni sina si-create le space esibili angi-understand ngiyalahleka njengamanje. So before abantu bengene kupanel othi ngiyacela mfethu rana i-test ubuze imibuzo ukuthi how because manje usithe uMagazela ufuna ukusilawula manje ufuna senze ngale ndlela ukuthi akafuni ukuthi iPirates win i-Champions League bona bathenga abadlali ngama-million bengakayiwini thina singayiwina i-Champions League. We've done it before siqalile sayiwina ngawinwa umuntu and we went into the second final kungakayi umuntu kwi-final. So mase sotshela umuntu esimphendlela indlela ezositshela ukuthi asenzeni singenzini ngiyacela ukuthi run i-test baba ubuze imibuzo before angene kupanel ukuthi uqale nobuka ibhola ngoba manje uyasilawula lo ngiyivala kanjalo bafethu.
Hey, peace, man. Can you have peace, guy? No, but it's fine. Okay, guys. These are my thoughts. I'll start with Pirates. For me, as somebody who has been questioning whether Pirates can play in another gear, I was pleasantly surprised. I was very happy to see that Pirates can play a different football. CAF football is slow, it's ugly, and Pirates plays a very beautiful brand of football. But as I think Agent said, I think Pirates' football can be effective if they can learn when to spring. One of these late goals is how Ahly wins games. These late goals are how ES Tunis beat Sundowns. These late goals are what win you the CAF Champions League. So if you can combine the explosiveness of Orlando Pirates' attack with more patience, a little bit more patience, then I think Pirates can be dangerous in the Champions League. And I think Pirates, like I always say, is the most dangerous team for me in the league. It's just that they're not consistent. And if they can find that consistency, that's going to be important. One thing that Jose needs to work on this year is rotating his players and trusting his players. There's some players that are going to have to be let go in order for them to go and play and win certain games while Abotito rest. And the reason why I'm asking you guys about mandates is that honestly, you can't do everything. It's impossible. Sundowns, with all the experience of the Champions League that they've had over the past, I could say, 10 years, got to the end of last season and they were tired. They were scraping past games, right? So rotation becomes a very important thing, and trusting the full squad. So I'm glad Malome Kutso came in and spoke about the fact that Pirates has been rotating little by little, getting people in, getting them ready. So I want to give Jose props for learning, man, learning. Don't let your rotation be forced by an injury. Start rotating them early and go out and play those games. Very, very happy with how Pirates played versus Jordaan. I am very excited to see Pirates in the group stages and possibly in the knockouts. When we speak about Mamelodi Sundowns, I think Mamelodi Sundowns on their side as well. I'm loving Mangoba rotating players. And besides the point that we spoke about with the other guys that maybe he's teaching them a lesson, what I enjoy about the rotation now is that no one there can cry at not being given chances, at not being ready. I think the chameleon with Coach Rulani started breaking when the chameleon became predictable. Beginning of the season, anything could happen in the game. You could see Abo Mendieta coming in and changing the game. You could see different things happening. Rulani used to hit on many things. But as he got later into the season, the complaints became the same. I don't have enough time to sit down with these players. We are tired. And the nice thing about what Mangoba is doing, should he continue with it, is at this point early in the season, when it's a little bit easier, get to see all of your players, get to see all of them, get to play them all, get to feed them into your system, get to play them in your system, so that there'll come a time when you'll need to have Abamkulisi alone during a league game, and you won't have to worry or have to pecha mokwena in because, you know, you have to make sure that your standard is staying. It's nice to see that Mangoba's working on that. In terms of the game, the only thing that I'm afraid of with Mamelodi Sundowns, and maybe it comes more from the Supersport game and some parts of that Mbabane Swallows game, they start slow. He changes faster than Rulani did in order to affect games. But my problem or my question will be, if Sundowns goes 1-0 down early or 2-0 down first half when they're playing slow, can you count on that every single time? Because the advantage that Coach Rulani had was that even though he wasn't creating chances, there weren't many chances created against him. Whereas this Mamelodi Sundowns team is a lot more open. Agent always speaks about it, saying that, you know, it's a risk and reward system. You will get more chances, but you may risk more goals. My question is, if the goals come before the 65th, 70th minute changes that Coach Mangoba has done incredibly well, can you hold out in a game and come back from that? And that we'll have to see. That will come down to a lot of the attitude of the clubs that are going to be playing Mamelodi Sundowns against the Mamelodi Sundowns. But up to this point, outside of the MTN 8, I don't think you can look too badly at what Coach Mangoba is doing. And let's be honest, it's not that different from what happened before him. It's not that different. It's just that where Coach Rulani will wait until the 85th minute or 80th minute in order to make his game-changing subs, Coach Mangoba loves to do that a lot earlier. So we'll see how that plays out, and maybe that might be the key to CAF. But all in all, I'm very, very happy that we've got two teams in the Champions League. Both of them have gone through. We've got Stellenbosch that has gone into the CAF Confed. Unfortunately, Skukune couldn't make it through, but I think kudos to those that made it through. We're looking to a lot. And who knows, maybe we might see something special this season when it comes to South African football. Not necessarily our teams and being tribal, but overall, I would love to see somebody go and win the Champions League from South Africa. Pela guys, we're fighting people in the Champions League that have 12. Ahly has 12 Champions Leagues. King Wydad has 5. They're not in this year, but Wydad has 5. Yes, Tunisia has 4, if I'm not mistaken. But TP Mazembe have 5. All of the other countries have multiples to show. So I'm going to put away my tribalism, my football tribalism and my pride, and I'm going to say, you know what? Maybe we do need to start winning more of those things. And if it means Pirates gets the second star or Sundowns gets the second star, it is what it is. But all in all, it looks better for South African football. As a recap of the teams that have made it in, Ahly FC, Al Hilal, AS Far Club, many will know that as Coach Nabi's previous team, AS Maniema Union, CR Belouizdad, where Khanye is playing, Toliba AC de Bamako, ES Tunis, GD Sagrada Esperanza, Mamelodi Sundowns, MC Alger, Orlando Pirates, Pyramids FC, Raja, Stade de Abidjan, TP Mazembe, and Young Africans. Guys, the Indopep show is going to be starting now, so please follow if you have not followed first. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the comments. Thank you for joining me on the panels. Thank you to Tato Slogs, Moshikaro, Mash Cash. Thank you to Tyler Druza and Kimang Unati, Sami Mabua, and lastly, Agent and Malume Kutso for the gifts. Thank you to those on YouTube, guys. I have content that I upload on YouTube all the time. If you want to hear my thoughts in full, they are available there in full. I try to drop every day. So please, please, please support. Guys, I'm nominated at the Content Creator Awards. So thank you guys for your support. And let's see if we can bring one back for the Overthinkers. It's been amazing. I'll see you guys then tomorrow. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. But tomorrow, because we've got a watch along of either of Sundowns, we're going to be watching that game together. So if ever Chiefs, Pirates, or Sundowns are playing, Bafana Bafana, Banyana Banyana, Banyana Bastyle, UWC in the Champions League. We will be here. Guys, it's been incredible. I'll see you guys. Bye, everyone.